Welcome to That Moto Show with Dirt Bike TV's Jake Clark and producer Donnie Bales.
That Moto Show, number 15, remote from the mountains right now.
Okay, so it's a unique situation we have going. We're trying to line up schedules with Donnie. He's going out of town a bunch. I'm going out of town a bunch. He could have come on this, but he has some silly, he's got little kids.
He loves his kids more than he loves us. So
yeah, so that's why he chose that. So today's the first day of our big 3-day of riding. It takes like 4 days, at least to 5 days really, to put it all together. So you got 3 days of mountain riding. It's incredible. It's really fun. It wears me out a lot more than moto because you're doing it for 4 to 6 hours at a time and not just a quick, 40-minute moto and then followed up by like a 15 or a 20.
Today was only 3:45.
Yeah. So not even full 4 hours.
Not even full 4 hours, unfortunately.
But good start for our trip, first ride. So we're going to do it remotely. So if you're listening to this podcast and not viewing it, we are in the wild. We're up in the mountains. We're probably 7,000 feet or something like that.
Yep.
And we got what you hear, that noise behind you is a creek.
Yep.
Not quite a river, right?
Yeah.
It's enough to drown a bike if you played it right.
If you tried to, yes.
Which you could do. So this is going to be fun. So we're going to do this, and we might do another one in a couple weeks. We'll see. Because Donnie's taking another vacation. All right. And so it's tough to line up. So we'll see how that goes. But number 15, the one recently is
15?
Dino.
Yeah, obviously.
It's current, kind of been that for the last few years. Kind of owned that really well. Before that, long time ago, was Tim Ferry was the 15. He was kind of cool. And there's been a few others.
Yeah.
Everybody else will write and remember who it was, but I don't. I'll totally
15.
remember.
That's Donnie's pretty good at remembering this.
Yeah, he's not here. So no Donnie. Spencer's going to put together the show. Donnie's helping a little bit remotely. But so what we're going to do is try to keep a trail focus. And so we're going to go with some questions first, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the trail stuff and some of the stuff we use today on the trail. We even tested a few things. We tested this power cord, which is the long one, for the 300 TE300, which is the same as an XCW, the current bike. And this long one is really cool. Got a good roll-on, easy to ride power, good. And then we put on the Sparky, the turbine core.
Turbine core, and then it's a little bit shorter.
It's a little bit shorter, so it's like, because it was designed for the XC, the TX, so it's about 4 inches shorter here, but it's still a Sparky, so you kind of get the snap because it's shorter, but then with the
turbine core.
Yeah, then it kind of evens out. I'd say it's really hard to tell which one's better than this. So close.
Obviously, if you're trail riding, most places require a Sparky rest.
Right.
So it's kind of like a...
So if you're riding in the mountains like this, then you need that Sparky on. So it's really cool that it was, if there's any difference, it's minimal. I can't even tell.
It's not big.
Okay. No. So that was our first cool thing. And let's read it. We have a comment, I think, first. So we're going through our notes. We don't have that.
From our YouTube short up on here, it's us modifying the airbox on a stock YZ 250F.
I love this comment.
Yes. And Steve says, the best mod is to buy a 2-stroke and start being a man.
There you go. So when he sees a 4-stroke mod going on, the first thing he thinks of is just be a man.
Just be a man.
Get a 2-stroke, you'll be fine. So also, we're a little bit challenged with our equipment and where we're at and everything. So bear with us. Hopefully it looks fine. It's a pretty cool setting. Right?
Yes, it's cool.
All right. So what's our first question we're going to go into?
Riley R. says, so I bought the bike not running. So he bought a bike not running. I was told it needed a carb clean. I went through the whole carb, still didn't start. And then I tested compression, and it said it had 120. And then you told me, you responded and said that was too low. So I was putting a piston in it, and then I saw the dents on the head. So the picture's here.
So a couple things. So first thing is, if you ever go to buy a bike and they say it just needs a carb clean.
It's a lie.
Because if it was that simple, they would have done it and got more money for the bike. So that's the first warning. Like, no, warning. So if they're saying it just needs a carb, buy it assuming it needs just an engine rebuild. Like worst case deals.
I like when they say it ran when I left it.
Right.
Like it ran last winter when I left it there.
Or 5 years ago. So if they say it just needs a carb clean, they're not necessarily lying. They just don't want to do the work to make it right. And chances are it could be much more than that. So, and then as far as those little dents in the head, he has a 2-stroke. It's a 93 RM125, struggling to find some of the parts he needs. But those little dents are from a past failure, a crank or piston failure. And you can clean up, and if you leave those little dents there, it's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. So that's not any of the problem.
Okay.
So you can clean up a 2-stroke head and leave little, not going to hurt anything. It's fine. All right.
Chris O says, hi, Jay. I've enjoyed watching your tire change videos as well as many of your other videos. Today I completed my first tire change ever. So good job. Completed on my trials bike. Many thanks to you. Quick question. In one of your videos, you were airing up the tire and you said it's really nice to have a good air compressor. I'm looking to buy one for my garage. What size compressor tank do you recommend for general moto purposes? Is there a brand you prefer? Many thanks.
I don't even know what size our tank is, but it's
I
like
believe it's 60 gal.
It looks like 100.
It might be 100.
Looks like 100.
But when I went online, and obviously Ingersoll and Rand.
Ingersoll Rand.
Ingersoll Rand is the one we have, and they're
24 years I've had it.
Yes, and they start at $2,000 now.
Well, when I bought it, it was like 800 to 900, and it was a huge investment at that time. But but I've had it for 25 years basically, and I've had to do our first bit of maintenance to it in the last year. I've had to fix a couple of things. We had a line, one of the lines from the engine to the tank had a problem, and we got that fixed. And now the switch.
It always seems to break when I'm in town,
which is really nice.
Weird,
because that helps. So we actually did our first 220 wiring fix the other day.
Yeah.
We unplugged it, of course.
Yeah.
Did a real good picture video. Called up my buddy Keith, gave us some encouragement, and we just did it. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It still works, right?
The switch was opposite. Oh yeah, it works awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been. And so the first day, every time it would kick on and off, we'd slap high fives.
Yep.
But anyway, you want to buy quality equipment if you can afford it, because it's going to last a long time. That's what's really nice about this Ingersoll Rand we bought. You're not buying one from Home Depot or Lowe's. Those are fine.
Home Depot does, they don't have them in store, but if you buy it,
online?
it ships to the Home Depot.
Okay.
But again, they are $2,000 regardless of where you get them pretty much.
You have to go like McMaster Car.
Yes,
or
to get them and see them in person.
Those other supply places. So if you're going to buy a compressor, do that. Now, my next thing is I like to, if it was me, to do it again, 25 years of listening to that thing, I'd much rather have it outside and build a
box or something.
A box for it that can be somewhat ventilated so it can still get air and it wouldn't get too hot, and so you wouldn't have to listen to it as much. So that would be my next goal. So a good strong one that can be up there at 150 psi, and that's what I would do.
Yeah.
And, if you can afford it. If you can't, then just get the biggest tank you can, because then it's not going to kick on as much.
Yep.
Even if you get a cheaper one. Okay, next one.
Antonio S. says, hello, Jay. I have a concern with the product. The product I'm having issue with is behind the IMS gas tank, and the reason is because the fuel pickup design. The reason for this concern is because people are running into issues with it sucking air if it's at an extreme angle, or if it tips over to the tank to the right or left, if it does not have a full tank. I'm emailing you in order to hopefully find a fix or see if there's an issue that the company makes an upgrade for this. Any insight you have would be grateful for.
Okay, I think that's kind of our thumbnil photo we're going to use for this show, because we have a 24 new generation bike right here, and I have another one in the van, a 4-stroke. So it's a poor design, but to answer that, for moto, it's not a problem.
No.
Really not a problem. You fill up your bike, you do it. The new fuel pump on a KTM comes in from the top here. It's like a Honda fuel pump. It's just like that, but the Honda one comes in from the bottom, which is really cool because they have an aluminum frame.
And there's room.
There's room.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if KTM had figured that out, a way to do it. Maybe they could in the future, who knows.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think it's going to be solved anytime soon. They used the last fuel pump design, I think, for 12 years. This is what Taco Mike was telling me.
Yeah.
So in Taco Moto's solution that's coming out fairly soon, and then we've talked about some of the holdups he has going, is they have a snorkel that goes down and siphons everything out of the left side. But if you were to crash onto the right side of the bike, fall over to the right, and you had it running and the left side was without fuel, it would suck air.
And it would not be primed.
It would not be primed. Yeah. And so you would need to prime it, which is a bit of a hassle. It needs to have probably a gallon of fuel in there. You got to put a bunch of fuel in there to prime it. Yeah. It's a poor design by KTM. The Takamoto solution will be a good one. He also has a solution coming in the future to go to both sides. And then the next option that's coming in the future from IMS is you'll be able to get like a size tank like we have in this bike here, a little bit bigger, like a 3 to 3.2, and it'll utilize the stock old pump. So you have to buy an old pump for like $400. Put one of those in, and this would solve your problem. You'd have no problem. If it sucked, if it lost prime or anything, it's no big deal. You just add in, you could add in this much gas, and it would start up. So it's a poor design from them. So the best solution right now is here's our solution right now.
Yeah,
right here.
I have another one. We took 3.
We took 3 bottles on our ride today. We didn't need to. We could have got away with none.
Yeah.
But we carried fuel so that we don't risk running out of fuel. So that's what we're doing right now, is just carrying fuel and making sure you don't run out.
Yep.
In a racing situation, those guys are doing laps on their circuit, and they know when they can stop and splash, and they're good. And you're going faster, so chances are you're going to keep fuel on the pump.
Yep.
All right, so unfortunately, that's all you can do for now.
Yes. Stephen B says, hi, I have a 23 350 XCF and asks, what rear sprocket do you recommend? I have gone from a 47 to a 48 and still feel like third gear's too tall. I race GNCC style tracks. I see you ride the 350 a lot, so I want your input. Thank you.
So we went from a 47 to a 49.
Okay.
Now, I have heard of guys, the dirt bike test guys, they kept the stock 47 on and went to a 13 front.
Yeah.
That's pretty gnarly change. But since they're just doing racing situation, it's fine. I think where it'd be a problem is like in these trails, that first gear would be so low you wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So which would be a problem when you're kind of going, you get to a tough spot and hit first.
And it's like, oh.
It's yeah. So, but if you're just racing that, you'd be in second, third, and fourth. Second, third, and fourth.
Yes.
You'd mainly be third. You'd be in third a lot.
You're a better rider.
Yeah. So those are what you're weighing out. In that case, I might try that 13 front with the stock 47. If I'm trail riding this stuff, I'd probably just go to a 49, and that's what we've been doing, and it seems pretty good with everybody that's running it. So hopefully that helps you out.
Christian L asks, I love dirt bikes, but I'm only 20.
This is a crazy
This
one.
one's a
long
little,
question, but I understand his concerns.
Okay, so he bought his own dirt bike this year, and he's
Good job.
rebuilding it. So he's curious on the future of the sport and worried in the next 5 to 10 years that A, there's only going to be electric bikes and gas-powered motors will be federally banned.
Okay, hold on. So we have to stop right there. So right there, I'm not a politician or a, what do you call those people that can see the future?
Seer? I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm not. Like I can't tell what's going to happen. I think it's going to depend maybe the way this election goes for the next few years, right?
Yeah.
So some of this stuff is a bit of a propaganda.
But in the
stuff.
next 5 to 10 years, I don't see how there's ever. We already know the infrastructure is not there for electric vehicles, and so they would never pass laws banning gas vehicles unless the infrastructure is there for electric vehicles. So for 5 to 10, I think we're good. Maybe 50 is the question, right?
Yeah, right.
But 5 to 10, I think we're all right.
Now, one thing to remember too, I tell guys is 20 years ago, 22 range. This would be like 02 range. I remember people telling me, no, we're not going to see any more two-strokes.
They'd be banned.
Banned.
Yes.
Banned. No more two-strokes. And then Honda stopped making theirs. They basically stopped developing like in 04, 05.
Yep.
And then they sold them up till 07, but it was minimal. Same thing with Kawasaki and Suzuki. But I got a 24 KTM Husky right there.
Yep.
Still selling them.
There's 25s out.
Right,
You
25.
can get 25.
Two-strokes. So pump the brakes. Don't worry. Things aren't as bleak as they sound. What's our next part of that question?
And B, he says all bikes 2010 and older will no longer have OEM replacement parts with a lot already not available.
No, because how I answered this to him was, we just built 5 CR250s. They're basically 30 years old.
30 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could find all the parts we needed to.
Yes.
We did have to do some stuff and on eBay and this and that, but we were building 5 of them. Okay. So I don't think finding parts for a long time is going to be much of an issue. So
as long as there's money to be made from these aftermarket companies.
Well, and then now with the invention of eBay, people part bikes out.
Yep.
You're going to be able to find parts a lot easier than it was a long time ago.
There's even metal 3D printers now that people are using stuff like in 10 years.
That sounds like voodoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then he says C, all of the above. So
all the above. So I wouldn't get.
And then he
so
says
bleak.
2 strokes are on the brink of extinction. LOL.
LOL.
Which I mean, I don't think is technically true. So
yeah, I
if
think
you go watch
who knows? I think
Herzberg,
right.
there's not a single.
Well,
there's like 2 4-strokes in that entire race. So.
Every hard enduro.
Yeah, every hard enduro, not just
is
the big ones.
all riding 2 strokes.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a little trail input from today. Is I've been riding 4 strokes a lot, and a few weeks back we rode desert stuff on this. Well, it's been a month and a half, right? We rode that bike. And I said, man, I still prefer the 350, but I said, maybe in the mountains I'm going to prefer the 300. And I think I'm there. I think I prefer the 300 in the mountains. This stuff, these mountain trails, this is what it's perfect for.
It's great.
We can throw a little footage in here, man.
Yes.
Of a little me cruising this thing.
I don't have to get off my bike or wave you down.
Right.
It costs me nothing. I get to rest a little bit, and then I'm able just to tell you.
Okay, so that's a fun trail coming down.
There's a little tree sticking out in the trail, so don't hit it.
Oh, that one.
Ankle height.
Yeah, right there. That's a ankle killer right there.
Yeah, that would definitely could definitely mess up your throttle body too, or something.
It is so good, and I'm still nowhere ready to go do some hard enduro by any means, but it just wears me out less, force and speed. And so I think it also helps keep me out of trouble on these long days where you're doing a lot of miles and keep you out of trouble. So there's some things of course I like about the 4-stroke, and that's why I moto. So, but the 2-stroke on the trail is just on these tight trails is great.
Yes.
I still think I'm going to prefer the 4-stroke on the desert stuff. So
yeah,
that's just me.
Yep. No, I agree.
All right.
Kenneth N says, Jay, can you please send me your plans for the tire stand? I'm making my own now, going off your design. I like it. All the others I've purchased are not what I expected. Please send me the prints for yours. Love your channel.
So I sent him the same. I sent him that, and then anybody can email us for the tire stand drawings if you don't already know. But the next part of his thing, this is kind of like the closer for our questions.
Yes.
It's touching. It makes me tear up.
Instead of doing what you did, I worked as a general contractor for the last 30 plus years. Dirt bikes have always been my passion. Life just got in the way. Now I'm at a point in my life, and money's not important. Living life is. I'm starting to follow your lead on working on dirt bikes and riding as much as possible. I hope to make it down in your area sometime and ride some of the iconic places like you guys do. That's cool. And so you realize, for us, we realize how blessed we are to be able to do this, go to Glen Helen, those types of tracks. I had a guy from England write me this week, and him and his dad and mom are coming to come over for his birthday, his 30th birthday. He's so excited to come to Southern California. Those types of things, he's excited to come ride. So it's really cool, and it's cool that this guy's now at a place in life. His kids are probably got him off the the gravy train. Hopefully they're earning their own keep now, right? After 30 years.
Yeah, so over 30 years. So they're out, hopefully, providing for themselves. And now he says, hey, now it's my turn to ride some.
Yep.
So better late than never, I say.
Yep.
Right? So hopefully he keeps on going and enjoys. So we're going to talk a little bit about some trail stuff today.
Yep.
So the big thing on the trail rides for us that really helps us a lot and actually makes it so we actually ride less time because we don't have to stop as often is our cardos. And that's this right here. This one's still on. Should I turn it off? Let's turn it off.
Did I turn it off?
Did you turn it off?
I turned mine off. I don't think you probably...
So this... I didn't hear what percent it said, but I think I think it said 50. So
I imagine it would probably be about 50%. These last all day.
So this is the system. And within the helmet, take a few pictures. You can see the JBL speakers inside there. This is huge. It really helps. And then being able to video the rides, it's nice. I like this vertical because it works good on the gram.
Yeah.
And then Spencer's helmet's set up horizontal, and he also has it rigged up right now because he's using an Insta 360, or are you using the GoPro today?
I'm using the GoPro.
GoPro today. And he's got some extra wires, so we were testing some recording. So what that also means is we're going to make a cardo video for this trail ride for this today. We're going to have a really cool, you can see a lot of the ride, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So you'll be able to see that video coming out soon. It'll probably come out in the next few weeks where we'll have a lot of that. Also, I want to talk packs. I really like this OGO pack because it's like a Manzier, I say, because it goes across the front like this.
One clip.
One clip. It's good. This one got a couple years on it now, huh?
Yeah, it's 2 liters because you don't like drinking that much water.
I just don't like carrying that much water. But I still don't drink that much.
You don't drink that much comparatively.
If it had Diet Coke in it the whole time, ice cold with some ice in there,
if you had a Diet Coke bladder that you would just put Diet Coke in only, that'd be funny.
Okay, so like that. Now, Spencer.
I have mine.
Yeah, why don't you show us that one? Hold that one up.
So this is a MSR Mega Vest. I mean, like, the thing is huge.
And this has got, what do we call that, CCW?
Yes, so it has a compartment right here for you to carry your...
Right there?
Be in there. And then it has so much space. As you can see, the thing's huge. I mean,
yep.
You get an idea of how big it is. So I can carry all the tools that we would ever need to do most anything. And this clips onto the back It's quite heavy. This is a good 5 pounds.
Because we have all of our
least.
tire tools in here. A
Yes.
lot of people ask so we don't carry this with us. So we left this at the truck, and we would come back to get the tire tools if we had to.
Yes. Or if we're going on a really long dual sport ride.
Dual sport ride, we'll take it with a pump, with a pump.
Yes.
Okay, so those are our big trail takeaways from today. Okay, a couple little product things for the trail that we're going to go over real quick. Is I like wearing vests when I can, but today was actually too warm. We went right in the middle of the day. If we'd gone earlier, we could have got away with it. So when I have a vest on, I keep my phone in here. I really like doing that. So when I don't have a vest on, then I go with the fanny pack from the 80s and early 90s, right? And you just go like this, and I can keep my phone in there while I'm on the trail. It's really nice. I'll also keep a couple little things right here that I want to get to. It's usually a paper towel, wipe goggles, those types of things. I'll have those right to where I can get with them easy. So, and this one I bought at a thrift shop. And the nice thing was when I bought it, it was like $1 or so, but it had like $1.50 and change in it that no one caught apparently. So that was kind of a cool thing. So a fanny pack is nice for that. Also, we get a lot of questions about what tools we keep in our gear, in our packs, our hydration packs. And the reality is it's minimal. We have the T-handle that we used today, right? Which one was that in?
Your water thing.
So we have our bivy. I do have this.
Your rescue inhaler.
Okay. It does help when I'm in the dust a lot. Advil, I usually take that twice during the ride. And then lots of snacks. You know, everybody's like, yeah, of course you eat lots of snacks, dude. So I'm going to take those wrappers. I'm going to throw them into the trail. And so everybody thinks whenever I throw something. So, and then, my wallet's in here. So now we're going to take that out of here. Good. We have our bivy, which is our remote communication setup. So that's really nice to have on remote rides. We have our fuel transfer from Moto. Yep. And then where's our little T-handle we used?
T-handle's in the water section.
In the water section, okay. And
zip ties?
8, 10, 12. Yep. And we have our large zip ties. Guys have seen us use that for flat tire changes, for flat tire situations, which we hardly ever get, knock on wood. So we just have minimal tools. And we have a tow strap in there, minimal tools. And the reason is we ride newer bikes that are all well maintained. So that's a big thing in our packs. In Spencer's big pack that he showed, we do carry a bit more, and then we'll, on the dual sport rides, bring stuff to actually fix more things. Also, on this ride today, I wore one of these intake breathing strips. You know, the nasal strips that guys would wear, the advantage of this one is it's more firm and holds your nose more wide open. It seems pretty good. So it's a pretty fun, I think I liked it for these types of long rides at high elevation, where you need to be breathing that good oxygen, and through your nose, you really get a lot of it. A lot of the mechanics in the pro races will tell guys, breathe through your nose, because you get all caught up and you're not breathing enough. And so that really helped today. I think it was good for the trail ride. So that's a few more trail items. Okay, so we're remote here. We brought a big tub with a lot of parts and tools in it. We have a cooler, some extra tables. And this is a rental van. It just works out, the math works out really well, since this is so far away from where I'm at in Southern California, that I can fly up to Utah, rent a van for much cheaper. And as you can see, we got it set up really well. As far as this was a really quick setup. Spencer had everything ready before I flew into town, and I came in like a rock star, just threw everything in. We always bring an extra bike, and that's kind of a, boss move. And that reason for that is, if we're going far, spending a lot of time and money, I want to make sure that I have something if something goes wrong. We'll probably ride that bike regardless, so it's nice to have that bike with us as well. And then we just bring our tools, some chairs, stuff like that. You see we blocked off the front there because this van's not finished, so the AC can't hardly keep up when you're driving across the hot areas. So it's really nice and cost effective that way to not have another van up here. So hopefully it helps you guys out if you're going to think of any long-term trips. We always bring 2 sets of boots too. Because our trail boots are our older motocross boots, and we do go through some creek crossings and get them wet. It's nice to put on dry boots in the morning. Okay, so if you notice, we do have some MSR gear on. This is the new Legend off-road gear, and we do like it. We've been wearing this just a couple months now, and pretty good. The jersey's a bit heavy, but it seems fine for even in this weather. We've been riding it from 70 to 80 degrees most of the time, and totally fine. we are up a size on the pants. On the jersey, XL is fine, but I am up a size into 36s where I usually wear 34s. And you're like, how do you wear 34s? But I usually do, at least in riding pants. So something worth checking out. Our links are in the description. Good, lower cost gear for you off-road guys. Trail Tech fan. I had the Trail Tech fan on my bike, kicking on more than it probably should because I'm going slow and holding the clutch in.
It didn't kick on at all when I rode it. That was weird.
Yeah, that's the problem. You were going downhill.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of downhill.
It kicked on after a road when you rode. It just doesn't like when you're riding it. You're like, oh.
Yeah, so really fun. How long are we out here? Look at this. We have technical.
We're at like 20-ish minutes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, we can take another question.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to talk a little bit about show my Spotify app. So we don't have a CD for the week because we're not at my shop here. So one of the things recently we had that Amazon.
She's got Spotify.
Do I have a? What about those artists I follow? Go to that music. Yeah.
Your favorite artists.
Recommended. So you can have you can just follow certain artists, and it helps you find. One of the nice things is some of the newer bands that we found. Library.
I've been through Spotify.
I like it better on my iPad for sure.
Well, what I'll do is I'll screen record it on Jay's iPad, and I'll show you kind of what his Spotify looks like.
And you can see like there's this one called Red Voodoo.
Okay. Yeah.
And
artist.
And that's a new young band. That's him.
Yep.
Is that him? Show him. So Red Voodoo.
I don't think it'll.
Yeah, close enough.
I'll put a picture of Red Voodoo on the screen. Don't worry.
So so we got this. You can find a lot of these younger bands a lot easier. So that'll be in place, and that's been a way better than we were using Amazon Music.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say it was terrible, but it wasn't great.
No.
And then of course, as soon as we switched to Spotify, did you see that they just raised the price?
Yes.
$3 for $3 a month more.
Yeah.
For our family plan.
Yeah.
And you know who pays for the family plan?
Not me.
So everybody's like, oh yeah, go with Spotify.
Once I have a kid.
And then once we get the Spotify, we had it 2 months, 3 months. No, it's probably been 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And they just go, hey, it's raising. Okay, to the.
Yep.
To the deal there. Okay, and was there any other trail products we wanted to go? Oh, we're going to talk knee braces. Would you go grab?
Yes.
So
knee braces today.
Yeah, on this trip is one of the first for trail trips that we didn't wear knee braces, and Spencer is so happy that I didn't make him wear any. Mine are sitting in the sun right now, drying off, and Spencer just touched them, which is kind of gross, but
they're not wet.
They dried up, so the sun's really intense up here. So we're just using knee pads today
from EVS.
EVS, Travis Pastrana, $199. So we have those.
These are what we wore before we did some braces, and like the braces.
I've worn braces off and on for 30 plus years, and for moto, I still feel like I'll probably still continue to wear knee braces. I feel more secure. Now on the trail, what I noticed today with having these on, first of all, they are way less constricting, obviously, right? They don't provide the protection, but they also have way less weight. So there's way less weight on your leg hanging out.
Yes, the most important thing I noticed is that I didn't notice, right?
That you did notice.
I didn't notice, right? Like, I was like, oh, the whole day I'm like, I didn't think about how I'm wearing these once. Sometimes with certain brands of gear, maybe it pinches once or twice throughout the day. I got to pull my pants up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's with these, it's like, nope, I never even thought about my knee guarding once. But obviously, I've had injuries wearing knee braces majorly, and I have had injuries not wearing knee braces. So, and we know plenty of people that have had it wearing
both ways.
Yeah.
So I don't have a straight answer. I get a lot of that as far as protection goes. And then we wear long socks.
Yeah.
Why don't you throw a picture of the MSR ones? With the MSR ones, and then Stony socks. He has some with our logo on there, which is really cool.
Dirt Bike TV.
So long socks will keep these from like you becoming like a total sweat monster and being all grossified.
It'd be really gross.
Yeah, if you just had these straight on. So wearing long socks up your leg helps that a ton. So long socks from the MSR ones or the Stony socks guy is really cool. He makes custom. He has like Trump socks and different. Yeah, he has all kind of different types of socks there. So that's really cool. We should ask Donnie for a parting question. Do you have one left? Any other questions for us?
Well, what are your Southwick predictions? This will be coming out the morning of.
The same day as Southwick?
What, do you think Deegan top threes?
I do think Deegan top threes.
I would agree.
I do think he's going to.
blowing it up.
Yeah, everybody's saying, oh, he can't ride. Like, he's a good rider.
He's one of the best riders we've had in the last 5 years. So it's like,
but he hasn't done well. But
off and on.
But he's still young and everything. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. I'd be surprised. One of the cool stories about Southwick, and I'm not sure if he's riding 250 or 450, but Tony LaRusso. You don't even know this name, but
no.
he was a pro a privateer guy. I helped him out a few years when I was with White years ago in the 90s. He's going to try to qualify at 52, I think it is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and he's he's a Southwick legend, and
so that was his best track then.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And during the circuit, in his prime, there was years where he got top 3, top 5 versus, and he was on privateer bike against factory guys. And he was like on an RM125 or whatever.
Like King of Southwick, King of Paris type thing.
But Southwick is its own deal.
Well, yeah.
Southwick isn't as Southwick as it used to be. It's lost a lot of its
topsoil.
Yeah, it's sand. Yeah, so the deep sand. So
it is still the sandiest track, probably by far. So
we don't have any real sand tracks.
No.
It'd be nice if we did. I do like.
There are real sand tracks in America. We just don't probably do nationals.
Not a ton of them though. Because when I was a kid, we had them in the riverbed in Southern California.
Yes.
They'd be in the riverbed, and that's where I actually learned to ride. And so I'm not
all the ones in like France and stuff and all these other countries. They are in riverbeds, like all the cool sand tracks. So in
Central California, at the bottom of, let's say, the top of Southern California is Santa Maria, and that's where there was Santa Maria and Lompoc was this riverbed, and that's where we would learn to ride, just going straight down the river for a while, come back, and that's where I learned to ride. It was really fun. So. I really like that kind of riding. It's really fun, and I like sand tracks like we have in the winter. Yeah, so I think he'll do fine, and I think there's no reason to think that Jet doesn't continue.
No.
I think that'll probably be the case there. But I still love watching the nationals. It's really fun to watch those battles all race long. It's really fun. I enjoy that.
Everybody's Cooper Webb and Ken Roxon are back on bikes. I know that they're riding.
Because Ken Roxon's going to ride these World Supercrosses in the fall. So my guess is he tries to ride some of these SMX.
Super motocross.
Maybe I didn't see how the dates line up, but
I'm not sure.
So he rides there, and we're not too. I love being a huge fan of it, but I don't follow all the details.
Yeah.
But watch some of the hard enduro stuff that just happened, and there's one this weekend, the same weekend as this Southwick race in Kellogg, Idaho.
Yep.
And that's, that's not. It's a ways from where we're at.
It's a ways.
But anyway, so I appreciate being out here. It's pretty fun. I'm getting bit, I think.
Yes. We're getting mosquitoes everywhere.
It's not too bad. All right, so it's been really fun. Short show. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Remember to send us your questions, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Share it with your friends, and keep on riding. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
We work with some great companies, and here's a list of those right now. Dunlop Motorcycle Tires, Wiseco Piston, Vinco Air Shocks and Dirt Bike Parts, FMF Exhaust, Decal Works Graphics, Pro X Racing Parts, Recluse Clutch Revolution, Motion Pro Specialty Motorcycle Tools, Works Connection, Uni Filter, Klotz Oil, Cometic Gasket, MX Plastics, JE Pistons, Cardo Systems, ODI Bars and Grips. And remember, if you shop Rocky Mountain, use our link from our site, Linktree, or link in description of the videos. Thanks for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.